Well, Matt, now I wanted to talk to you about something that you said on Twitter.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, and we're not mad at you.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Oh, David Difference
speak
might
for
be
yourself,
mad.
Mark.
David Difference might be mad at you.
This was coming.
But I want to ask you about it because since David and I were at Double or Nothing, we were in the building and, we saw and heard the crowd and everything going on. You were obviously watching it elsewhere. And, you made a comment that they should move Double or Nothing out of our blessed city of Las Vegas.
Ouch.
And the crowd was, bad and everything else. And
I did not say that the crowd was bad.
Okay, that's right. You actually
Las
did.
Vegas is not a wrestling city.
Just the city.
Just the city. But
Not the crowd, just the city.
But give us your perspective on that. Why did you feel that way coming out of Double or Nothing? Because I guess we're here, so we're going to have a different perspective than what some other people had. So, fire away.
Well, I mean, everybody wants the pay-per-view in their city. That should go beyond that should go without saying. The problem AEW has put themselves in right now is typically they only had 4 pay-per-views a year, and they made them traveling shows. Like, fans would plan their schedule around going to these 4 events. People would fly into Vegas or Chicago or wherever the AEW pay-per-view was that year, and they'd make a weekend of it. The problem was last year they added in Forbidden Door. And then they added in Forbidden Door again this year, and they put Double or Nothing and Forbidden Door basically within a month of each other. And fans decided, I can't do both. I cannot financially afford to do both. I'm going to Toronto for Forbidden Door. So that prevented people from flying in to Vegas. So the gate this year was a lot less than you would typically get for a Double or Nothing, which has been selling out every year before, Forbidden Door was a thing. I thought the crowd, beyond the Adam Cole-Jericho match, I thought the crowd was very good. But AEW wants to sell these pay-per-views out. And if they're going to continue to have Forbidden Door and Double or Nothing within a month of each other, I just think Double or Nothing would be better benefited in bigger wrestling markets, like a Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, someplace like, that, or Texas, that consistently sell out for big wrestling pay-per-views. It's nothing against Las Vegas. It's just Las Vegas doesn't have the history of selling out, wrestling shows on a consistent basis.
Right. Well, I think there's a lot of factors that went into that. And so we're talking about ticket sales. Is that where that opinion is based on? Or because a lot of people said they were watching the show and the crowd was dead. Did you get that opinion?
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Like the only match I thought the crowd died in was Jericho and Adam Cole. I thought other than that, watching it from home, I thought the crowd was into it the entire show. So I didn't understand where these people were coming from with those takes.
Yeah.
No. I thought the crowd was good. My factor was in, if you want to sell out the venue next year, you might want to go elsewhere.
Yeah, and I thought one other issue that came up too, other than a lot of stuff going on here in Vegas. I mean, we had a Stanley Cup game the night before, and that was pulling some people apart. But WWE scheduling on Memorial Day weekend was kind of rough too. I didn't think that was a good idea at all. And you and I'm sure you're on their press release list, and I didn't get one of those. Hey, we broke all those records. Hey, all this happened, and we, this was amazing. With the Night of Champions card, I didn't see that this time, and I think that their little one-upsmanship game hurt everybody. I really did.
Well, I mean, Night of Champions was the night before, and that's in Saudi, so you're not going to get much figures out of that. But I mean, WWE putting NXT Battleground head-to-head with Double or Nothing, I mean, that's a lose-lose for everybody. Like, and NXT is not going to pull people away from AEW, and AEW fans are not going to just decide, well, I'm not going to buy this pay-per-view, I'm going to watch NXT Battleground instead. Like, that doesn't work. NXT in the past have run like afternoon live events before AEW, and I mean, that works. But going head-to-head is a bad idea. I honestly, if I'm AEW, next year I'm re-strategizing my pay-per-view lineup, and I'm not booking the typical weekends that I've booked the year before, because WWE is preparing for that on their calendar to counteract them. and I would do different weekends. I would still do around the same time, but I would do like a weekend before or a weekend after. And that way WWE's thrown off their game, and they're not going to have to compete head-to-head with WWE that weekend.
That's a great point.
I believe that. But do it in Las Vegas, you're saying. They should come back to Las Vegas, yeah?
Sure. Give Vegas one more chance.
Well, so I'll tell you this. Like, there's a lot of excitement. You talk about it's not a wrestling city, but we had probably 13, 14 shows throughout the week, independent shows, all sold out. Like, so, like, the wrestling love is here. And I think also you look at the card, like, I wasn't super excited about the Double or Nothing card. It was a great show once getting there, but I don't think that it was sold as, like, one of the can't-miss shows. So let's blame AEW on this and not Las Vegas there.
Well, I think one of AEW's biggest issues as far as the pay-per-views go is they intend to sell these arenas out based on the name value that you're getting in AEW pay-per-view.
Right.
They don't really go out of their way to really hype up the card itself until about a week to 2 weeks before the show.
Yep.
So, like, you're not getting that really long build. Like, you knew the Four Pillars match was happening, but way out. But beyond that, you didn't know really what you were going to see on the show. And AEW has a habit of doing that. And that's the way Tony Khan likes to do things, so I get it. But I think if you're building the card out longer instead of doing it, within the last 2 weeks, I think you have a better chance of getting more people into the venue than you do without that.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree. And that was something we mentioned too, that that there were only a couple of matches on the card up until about 2 weeks before it actually happened. So
right, and then how do you know if you want to buy tickets, except for the fact that it's in Las Vegas and everybody wants to be in Las Vegas watching wrestling.
Yeah, and it's AEW. So, yeah, I mean, that was what they were trying to sell it on. So, pretty interesting stuff.